I swear to you.
Welcome back. Jay Williams, Let's Live Life. Before we start, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like. And if you don't like it, be honest, hit a dislike. Hit that bell so when I drop content, you'll know. But last but not least, leave a comment, man. Let me know how I'm doing at this. I know how I'm doing, but, you know, I like to talk to y'all. So today we're going to get into something that is long overdue, man. And I hope that, you know, in some way or another, I can help someone else with this video. And that is drinking. I quit drinking. And I said it in the video before, and I failed. What's different this time around is it's not something I have to do. It's not something I'm being forced to do or somebody's trying to make me do. It's something I want to do. It's something I'm doing. I'm on day number 7 of no alcohol, and I love it. You know, as we go down memory lane, and as far back as I can remember, I've always been a drinker. And I think if I had to, like, realistically give an honest number of when I started drinking, well, we all take drinks when we were young. You know, you steal a beer, you do this or do that at a function, you know what I mean? You, at somebody's house, some alcohol pops up. Well, I started drinking at around the age of 13. You know, stealing Mad Dog 2020 out of stores, stealing beer. You know, I always had dudes that were older than me that hung around us that would be more than happy to buy a beer as long as you buy them one, you know? So at 13, I started drinking. By the time I was 16, I was an alcoholic at 16 years old. At 16, I was drinking 40s of OE, you know, St. Ides, Crooked Eyes, whatever, Hurricanes every single day. And this just continued. It just went on and on and on. And looking back, 85%, I would say at least 85% of my arrests were alcohol related, or something I did while I was drunk. You know what I mean? For me, when I get drunk, my give a fucks go right out the window, and I don't give a fuck. I'm a different person. You know, my dad used to drink, and I'm gonna tell y'all a story real quick and try not to get off topic, but I think from what I'm told, I remember vaguely bits and pieces of this because it was so long ago, but I believe I was like 6 years old, and my mom and dad were fighting, and he was drinking again, and I mean, they were going at it. And there was a water tower where we lived at, like full-size water tower, big-ass water towers. And at the bottom of it, they had been like moving the sand around and leveling the, you know, the field out and whatnot. So there was all these big giant piles of sand. And sand looks soft, but sand's not really that soft. So anyway, to get into the story, my mom and dad, they're going at it. My pops is drunk, you know, he's beating on mom. And these are the things I can remember. It was raining outside, and I had went up on this water tower a bunch of times, and it's way, I mean, a couple 100 feet in the air, and it's got a little guardrail around it and a ladder that goes up the side. Well, at, you know, 5, 6 years old, I climbed this ladder. I wasn't scared of much. I climbed all the way to the top of the water tower, sit down on the rail, you know, eat some fruit roll-ups or a sandwich or something, take some rocks in my pockets and throw them off, whatever. You know, I was kind of a loner as a kid. I didn't have a lot of friends at that age. So in this day in particular, my mom and dad, they're going at it, and I leave out the back door, crying, scared, and it's raining. And when I first went out, it wasn't raining that hard, but it's a, you know, a nice little hike, maybe a 5-minute walk to where this water tower is. And I get up there and I start climbing. And I don't know, maybe a third of the way up, and I slip. And I fall. And I can remember to this day the fall. It seemed like it took forever. And I have dreams of where I'm falling. Now that I think about it, I think that's where it come from. But I fall. Shh. Boom, I hit this big pile of sand. Knocks me out cold. I remember waking up to this little blonde-haired girl that lived out there where we lived at, and her mother had a station wagon, and they were both standing over me. They thought I was dead, and I remember vaguely opening my eyes, her saying, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And then I remember shutting my eyes again. Then I remember opening my eyes and seeing my mom, and I knew I was still on the ground because I could see the sky. Like I could see people standing around me, my mom crying, and it's still raining. It's raining. The rain's hitting my face, and that was it. I was out for days, days and days and days and days. So that for my dad, I guess, was his breaking point, and he quit drinking. I've never seen him drink again after that. Well, you fast forward, I get into my teen years, and I wasn't influenced. I'm not going to say it was anybody around me that caused me to drink because that would be lying. I just always liked it. We had it bad at home. Pops was beating on us real bad. He was, rest in peace, but he was a mean man. So my way of escaping my reality was, I smoked a lot of weed, like all day, every day. And I drank. It got to the point where I was drinking every single day. By the time I was 17, if 16 wasn't it, it was guaranteed 17. I drank every day. And to make things worse, I got on a paint crew, at 16. I started painting. And everybody, not to knock all painters, but most of the companies I work for, if you paint, you drink. They go hand in hand. You know what I mean? Like bologna and cheese, shoe and shoelace, sock and foot. Drinking and painters that's what they do. So now every day, at the end of every day, I'm guaranteed there's gonna be 2-3 cases of beer around me in this van. They were just giving them to me, drink, and I would drink them. And you got to think, we grew up fast. I wasn't your typical 17-year-old. At 17 years old, I was already, living as a man. I was already out on my own. I had a job. I had responsibilities. So I wasn't your typical 17-year-old going to school, living in mom's back bedroom. Move forward in time. By the time I'm 21, most of the stores around where I live at were already selling me alcohol because they rather sell it to us than us just coming there and boost it. So I remember several store owners were like, hey, if you get caught going out of here with it, I'm going to tell them you showed me a fake ID before. I'm just going to sell it to you. We're tired of you stealing it. So that enabled me to be able to drink. And the liquor was always my biggest downfall. There was a point where I could drink a half gallon a night and then go get more. And by then I'm blacked out, just straight blacked out drunk. And I made a lot of enemies. I did a lot of shit that to this day I regret. And I don't have a lot of regrets, but the things that are associated with my drinking, I regret those things. Because I hurt a lot of people. The night I committed my crime and we hurt the guy that sent me to prison, I was so drunk, I didn't know if I was coming or going. Mixed that with the Xanax and everything else that was going on, it was just a bad combination. And why it's taken me so long to learn that nothing good, comes from me drinking alcohol, I don't know. I guess that's part of, my alcoholism. Nothing bad happened, a lot of people, something has to happen bad for them to wake up. And that's not what happened with me. I was just looking at my life as a whole, just woke up last Monday and was, starting my day like I do every day. And one thing I promised y'all from the beginning is that I would never be fake. I'd always be honest with y'all, try to help y'all the best I could, and just keep it 100, man, just completely be honest. But to be honest, for, I'd say at least the last 3 years, every single morning, before work, I head to the store, I grab 2 twisted teas, a cup of ice, a straw, pack of Newport 100s, and that's how I start my day. Now, I'm not bumbling around drunk. Them 2 teas them twisted teas didn't get me drunk. It gave me a slight buzz, but that was just how I started my day. That had become my routine. Now, as a company owner, a businessman, a boss, how do I look drinking 2 twisted teas in front of my guys every single morning, the guys I'm responsible for leading, teaching, and helping get through life? What type of example do I set? What Fortune 500 company do you know that allows their guys to drink at work, or that their boss drinks every single morning and throughout the day? None. So I'm not going to do it. I'm big on and I shouldn't care what people think about me, but I do. I'm big on the image I leave behind. I understand that one day I have to die. And it's important to me what people think of me when I'm gone, how I'll be remembered, what my legacy is. And I don't want to be remembered as a drunk. I don't want my son to grow up in a household where he watches his dad drink every single day. So I just said, you know what? That's it. I'm done. I quit. I sent my wife a very long text message, first of all, telling her that I was quitting and that I was serious and that I would never drink again. And then I went ahead and told her, look, I've lied to you. I've been lying to cover up my alcoholism. She was to the point she thought I was on drugs. That's because I'm coming in half fucked up from drinking and lying about the drinking. So she's looking at me like, well, if you're not drinking, you're doing something because you're on something. My wife thought I was on drugs. And truth be told, I was just drinking more and more and more every day. And it was such a strain and stress on my marriage. And I'm looking at my wife like, she's the world's biggest, and just blaming everything on everybody but myself. I quit the drinking and instantly my relationship started to change. It started to get better. Everything is for the better. My skin looks healthier. I'm dropping weight. I'm a big dude. Like, I might not look like it, but 215 pounds. A lot of that is put on from drinking. It's the heaviest I've ever been in my life. Next to, when I was locked up in powerlifting. This is all from drinking. I've lost so much, man. So much I can't get back. I'm 40 years old. And why it took me this long to get it, I'll never know. Maybe that's just the devil in my ear or the alcoholic in me. But what I can say 100% without a doubt is that I will never drink again. And I'm proud of that. I thought this was going to be something that was terrible, unmanageable, like hard to do. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not been hard. From the moment I set my mind to doing it, it was easy. Anybody that knows me will tell you I'm stubborn. Like, I'm stubborn as a damn goat. Like, that saying, stubborn as a goat? That's me. If I say I can do something, I can do it. If I say I'm going to do something or I put my mind to it, I do it. Everything I've wanted to accomplish since I've come home, I've done. So why would I not be able to quit drinking? Because I didn't want to. I used it as a crutch, as a vice, as an excuse. It was my way of dealing with my stress, my pressures. I felt like I make all this money, I've accomplished all this, I deserve to drink. That was the alcoholic in me justifying why I was drinking the way I was. Here I am, I don't do anything. You'll rarely see me smoke weed. But I drink every day. I'm down on dudes for bettering their life, not being on drugs, not being a slave to any substance. And here I am, a full-blown alcoholic. How much of a fucking hypocrite does that make me? I trip out west to Cali. I drink every single day, man. My in-laws, people that haven't seen me in years, every time they saw me, I had a tea in my hand. And, looking back on that, I'm ashamed of that because that's not who I am. It's not the person I am. That's not what I want to stick out when people think about me. And that's not what's going to stick out because it's over. I walked in here that Monday morning with my 2 teas in my bag, my cup of ice, sat down, talked to the guys, let them know the game plan for the day, where everybody was going, cracked that tea open, went to go hit it. Actually, I went to go pour it in my cup. And as I started pouring it, I just sat the can down and I looked at it. I'm like, dude, it's 7:40 in the morning. What are you doing? I knew right then and there I was done. I sent everybody out the door. They went to work. I took the teas in the bathroom, dumped them in the sink, walked back over to the cabinet in the shop, opened it because I knew there was a bottle of Jack, like big half-gallon, grabbed it, walked into the bathroom, pulled my phone out, and video recorded pouring it down the sink. That was a triumph for me. That was a victory. The first step was me deciding that I needed to stop. The thought of, hey, there's a problem. And then from there, I just acted on it. And a lot's happened in the past week that has stressed me out to where I'd usually take off and go drink. You know what I mean? Immediately, the first thing I want to do when anything happens in life is I want to drink. And I thought about it several times this week when I got stressed. But then I would laugh. Like, you're not going to get me that easy. I'm not giving up. I'm not going backwards. I looked at my wife and I looked at my little boy and I made a promise. And I'm big on my promises. And I hugged my 2-year-old that's about to be 3. And I said, Noah, you're not going to see Daddy drink no more. And he doesn't understand. He understands what I'm saying, but he doesn't understand the gravity of the situation or wrong from right when it comes to drinking, you know, or a lot of things. And I said, I'm done. I hugged my wife. I apologized for all the times I lied about the drinking, all the drama, problems, and pain I had caused through the drinking. And I told her, I'm done. I promise you, I'm done. And I stand before you today saying that I am done. And it's not that hard because I want to do it. I didn't wait until I caught a DUI or something stupid happened, life-changing, to make me stop. I stopped. I thank God all the time for protecting me. Lord knows how many DUIs I could have caught. But he kept me safe. He kept me out of harm's way, kept the police up off my back, kept that truck on the road or the cars, whatever I was driving, because he knew this moment was coming. He knew it didn't have to end bad for me to get good results. So I thank you. I stepped up. I took the ball. I'm doing what I should be doing with it. I've let my guys know there will be no drinking on the job. I don't even want alcohol in my shop. Y'all do what most men, do. Wait till you get off work and on your trip home, stop and grab your beers if you're going to and drink them when you get home. This is no place for it. It's never going to be again. I apologize to anybody I've hurt with my drinking now, in the past. If you've ever been affected by it, then I apologize to you. And I can think of so many people, that have. So don't think that message didn't go out to whoever's watching. Because if I've offended you or hurt you in any way, I apologize. But I stand before you today just as a man that's willing to admit his wrongs and his rights, that's willing to put his trials and tribulations out on the table for y'all to see. And when I tell you I'm done, I'm done. I say that with confidence and I say that proudly. I will never, ever drink again. Never. You're probably listening thinking, never? No, never. That's how it starts. That's how it all starts again. Every time it's just, I'll just have one beer, or fuck it, we're at a restaurant or we're at a cookout or something. It ain't gonna hurt if I just drank today. And the next thing you know, you fast forward a couple months down the road and you're right where you were when you decided to quit last time. So I know 100% that I cannot drink. And I will never drink again. If I do, I'll delete my channel and I'll stop talking. Because I'm fake. That makes me a liar. I know you're going to say, that's a relapse, that makes you human. It makes me a liar. I've swore to my child that I'm done, and I am done. And I encourage anyone else out there that has a problem with drinking or any type of substance to stop. And if you can't do it on your own, there's a lot of people that are willing to help. But it begins with you. You have to want it, and only you can make it happen. Nobody else can do it for you. This is your life and your decision. And I encourage you to make the right one. Live the best life you can, man. Like I said, I'm going to die. You're going to die. We're all going to die one day. How you spend these days is what matters, man. I thank y'all for watching. I appreciate the support. And I hope to get some comments and feedback, man. I love y'all. And until next time, y'all already know. Salute to all my real ones. This is Jay Williams. Let's live life. It's a long past due, man. I gotta say goodbye to an old friend. I can't do it anymore, man. Once I get through this, you will not be missed. This is what's got to happen, man. I have to do this for me. Do this for my wife, my son, my employees, and my life. It stops now.
On my own since I was just a kid, I swear to you.